Hey, Charlie here again. Today I want to talk about a quick, easy way to make yourself an off-road wheelchair. I never had them. All my life I was macho man. I can wheel around and do this. But believe me, Power Chair has so much power. And this is a super quick way to get yourself out there. And I really encourage all of you to try to get out there, do something, make yourself something that'll make the world more accessible to you. So this is just a Bounder wheelchair tipped onto its back. All right, so if you could picture this up here, it's where the casters were. Man, this is heavy. Talk about heavy duty. But the casters were up here. We just tipped it on its back. And all I'm doing with that is lowering the center of gravity for where I sit and putting myself further in front of the back wheel. Do you have to tip it on its back? No. You can take this, leave it upright the way it belongs, take the casters off, and weld yourself something right on the front, okay? But this chair, incredibly well built. If you're overweight or something like that and crash into things. I had a buddy that was a big guy, and a Bounder really is incredibly well made. This has got about 1.25 inches stem bolt on it and giant bearings, plus a spring-loaded caster. Doesn't even have to be a Bounder, it can be another wheelchair, but the Bounder just lends itself to this application. And it's not something I planned or thought about. Buddy of mine, Jim, just dropped this off to me because they do a recycling thing and it was missing a bunch of parts. And they weren't gonna spend money to fix it back up. So it ended up with me. But 80% of your work is already done, the electronics and all of that. So you don't have to change anything that way. So for the front end of this whole rig, I cheated again. I took the front end off a mobility scooter. A little bit difficult putting on bigger wheels. You have to change up the trail and stuff get the steering correctly. But something you can do. If you're not gonna grab a mobility scooter, which I wouldn't bother. You could take something like a 20-inch girl's bike with the frame that slopes down in the middle. And you can just picture that being attached up here somewhere. You don't even have to have the handlebars where you want them. Just take the handlebars off and put some type of tiller with your joystick. Anything that'll get you over bumps with ease. You know, the bigger your tires, the better your rolling resistance. So just lessen that up by giving you some ground clearance. This Bounder already has some pretty good ground clearance to it, which is a huge help. So you need ground clearance if you're gonna go off-roading. Nice thing about the mobility scooter for me is it has a jointed front end. So you can basically loosen up this front end here. You can loosen it up quite a bit. And then this tiller, or the arm, can swing completely right out of your way. So when you transfer onto this thing, super easy, just put your feet over it. And again, these are just some snowboard bindings. I don't even know where they came from. Somebody gave them to me. But this whole rig, to build the initial thing, only cost me a little less than $100. I had to buy 4 20-inch knobby tires and 4 tire tubes. I know this isn't great engineering. This is just a 20-inch regular bicycle wheel. And it's rather difficult to get this hub out. So I just screwed it all the way I could through. And then mounted it into a sleeve up here on the inside. So if you come around on the inside, you can see that. But if you just use a 20-inch girl's bicycle frame, you don't even have to think about this type of stuff. Just get it up on there and put it so your legs can be out far enough. Now, if you want to take it another step further, I want it to be able to hold on with two hands, and this D-ring here allows me to do that. So you can put your hands on both sides. And I just use this as my guide for bringing the throttle up. So you can have your hand in here, steer it, and be giving it the gas. And when you need to make a 3-point turn to back up, you just manually move this backwards and you're in business. You don't have to make anything this fancy. My buddy Bob, a master adapter I call him, he made this up and we just stuck it on there, and works great. Is this the greatest off-road machine? No. It's got its quirks. It doesn't steer great. It could use a little more fine-tuning on that. And the braking, adjust rear wheel brakes. So going down something steep is a bit sketchy because you don't have the front wheels doing the work. But all in all, fantastic machine for the money. It'll go along 15 miles an hour without even a hitch, but that's neither here nor there. I put little taller wheels on the back and smaller pulleys to give me more speed. But this thing has plenty of grunt for climbing up hills and doing the things you want, and dirt cheap. I liked it so much and wanted to extend its range. It was only going about maybe 10 miles with the batteries that it came with. They were old. I don't know how old they were, but I invested in a couple of lithium batteries. I put another $750 into this bad boy, and I don't know how far it will go now, but I've got a giant 100 ampere hour at 24 volts battery here and another 50 ampere hour at 24 volts battery on it. So I've got 150 ampere hours and I've got 200 amps of deliverable power. This machine can really suck down the power. It has a off-road mode called E, one of the selected thing, and it actually takes more than 100 amps to run that mode. So that's what happened. I ended up put up 2 batteries with 100 amps each for the battery management system. But you don't need all of that. Just get out there and get it started, and it'll matriculate into first version, second version. You want more ground clearance, you'll put on some bigger wheels or do this or do that. But this machine pretty much all around can go a great distance at high speeds, has reverse, all the things you're going to need. I mean, it's just like driving an electric car. It goes and goes. And I've been very pleased with it. But for short money, just get yourself set up and try it, get out there and get going with it. That's about all there is to say about this. You can put arms on it if you want. I did. They proved to be very helpful when you're bouncing around over rocks and stuff. This has no suspension. So again, not perfect, but believe me, it'll get you out in the woods. That's about it for today. Until next time, God bless, and keep your mind full and your bowels empty.